job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Machedo is the best.
All right, I got this comment from a question from a guy user named Raja, and this is what he stated: make some videos on your girlfriends, GFs, how you met them, particularly married ladies, why married ladies propose you, how they manage time and space, where you meet them, whether they still maintain relationship with them or not, advice on nice guys, how to attract girls. Well, you definitely don't seem like a nice guy when you're asking for married women. Funny, right? Being a public figure and you're asked to answer a question about how to have extramarital relations or a sexual relationship with someone else's married partner. Yeah, let's get one thing out of the way. I have had experiences with married, single, whatever, divorced, all kinds of women. Yes, there was a phase where I absolutely enjoyed it. Today, for various reasons, I have retired that life. It's not that I don't feel like having a nice happy ending massage, or I'm not actually looking forward to have sex with married women, or even even if she's single, I'm not so interested. Maybe the maximum I might be tempted to go is for a happy ending massage or pay someone for sex and bye-bye. But that's about it. And I'll explain to you why in this video, okay? Now let's get one thing out of the way. I absolutely do not encourage anyone to have an affair with a married woman, okay? And the reasons are obvious. The reasons are simple and obvious. Like, not just that it's wrong, but a very simple thing. Would you want your wife to sleep with another man? Is that okay for you? You'd obviously say no. Would you wish that for your daughter? You would say no. Would you wish that for your mother, your sister? So when you don't wish that for any woman in your family, why would you wish for it to happen to another woman's family? Okay, that's one. Then obviously the second question is, Loy, what about you? Didn't you do it? Yes, I did. I did it. I'm not keeping this hidden. But I don't know if you call this an excuse or whatever. There was a certain phase where I did feel and justify myself that it is okay. And it was a time where even though I was married also, I was also married. But it was more like a namesake on the paper and for various circumstances. If you go through my previous videos, you would know why I got married. It was not because I wanted to get married, I had to. And I genuinely wanted to make it work, but it didn't. But then I let it be. So, while staying married, I enjoyed with other women, and yes, there were some married women here and there. Now, and yes, some of them are dating other guys, but they would come and sleep with me and all that. So, it was a different phase. Today I'm in Thailand. It's a very open place. People don't mind. There are lots of people with very broad, open relationship kind of concept, even though they'll keep it secretive. I can easily. I'll tell you, I can drive out of my house. My wife is very timid and simple. I can go out and tell her I'm going somewhere. Go half an hour, 15 minutes, come back. She would not even know. And even if she did know, what can she do about it? But I'm not interested. That's the point I'm trying to tell you. So okay, we got that out of the way. So now it comes to the part of what other risks are there. apart from all this. See, when you're young, like even for me, when I was young, you don't think about the risks or the drawbacks. You don't think that anything bad is there, or even if something bad is there, you don't believe it's going to happen to you. That is why they call it the folly of the youth. You know, the foolishness or the adventure or the foolish bravery of the youth. You know, the unwarranted courage. That's why when they say, I'm going to die, I'm ready to die, you know, that's all when you're young. See, like for example, I have this group which is Blood and Gore on WhatsApp. In that group, they send some really horrifying, brutal videos, okay, which is only on the deep dark web. In some of them, they have shown where this guy catches this woman and man, his wife and another man sleeping. He stabs the woman to death, and then he chases the man and chops him and cuts his genitals. And in some, they've shown actually slicing the. It's pretty graphic. It's very real, by the way. Okay, now you'll say, Lloyd, that is not going to happen. Fine. The other one is you might be jailed, or there'll be a legal case on you. Okay, in some countries they take it very seriously. Example, in Muslim countries, Indonesia, you'll get whipped or jailed. Now you might still say, oh, that also is not a problem. In my country, it's pretty open-minded and free. But then you'll be named and shamed, right? In today's social media day and age, how would you like everyone having photographs or the information shared about you, shared to all your office colleagues, shared to all your friends? Is that okay? I'm pretty sure that is something you wouldn't want. And I can assure you this much. There is no company, or there is no brand, or there are no groups of people who will feel comfortable knowing that you had sex with someone else's spouse, for them to accept you. And reverse also comes into play. The woman, you know, it'll destroy her life, whether woman or man. Yeah, okay, man's case, he can get away with a lot of things, but for a woman, yes, it's a big problem. So these are the major drawbacks. So now comes the next part. How do you get a woman? See, it's remember marriage, no? Marriage. People think marriage is a special blessing. It's that phase of your life that changes everything. It is the most powerful statement or decision. It is a powerful decision, but it is just another role that you're playing. It is an agreement between two people. Okay, we will be married, and then obviously the ritual of religion, and they make a big and, you know, call the whole village and people and show it's a big celebration. So they make it big, but otherwise a marriage is a very normal, it's like two people saying we'll get married and we'll make it happen. In fact, in the West, there are so many people who are together, they're not married, but they have a children, they have a family, and they continue life like that. So marriage is like more of a state of mind or an agreement between two individuals. In the Eastern culture, we make it a very big deal because we involve the family, the village, and also because it's a union of two families. In the West, it's more like they don't have these family values which are so important. So for them, it's like, after you grow 18, get out of the house and do your own thing, and, you can visit your parents once in a while. In the Eastern culture, the parents and all, they stay together. Now it's a different thing during COVID and bankruptcy. These kids are coming back to stay with their parents. So, like I tell people, if it is something you have to do in hiding and you can't share with the whole world, means it is something wrong. Means you're doing something that is not acceptable. So stop justifying it. Okay. I have had girls tell me that they're sleeping around with a married guy. I've had guys tell me they're sleeping with a married woman. And they give all kinds of justification. Oh, he loves me, he cares about me, he's very gentle. I'm not saying that they are not. They might be very caring, very loving, very whatever. But remember how they are playing their cards. They are cheating one person to keep the other person happy. And they are still sticking with that. That means they want the best of that world and they want the best of this world. So that doesn't make them a saint. In fact, let me give you the best example of a woman who I know I know as not as my girlfriend or anything. I know this female. She's a Muslim woman. She's a Hindu converted to Islam. Okay, I won't give you a name, anything else. She has 5 children. One is from her husband, 4 are from 4 different men. Okay, and the poor husband doesn't even know that he's looking after 5 kids, 4 of which are not his. Terrible, right? And I think she once again had another baby. I didn't ask her who's the baby from. Now, if you talk to her, she's a very nice, if you talk to her, you'll think she's an epitome of goodness. She talks about God, she preaches, I don't want to tell you what her career is, but she literally lectures youngsters and about being good, values, God, Islam, there's that, so many things. You'll think she's a holy, pious, religious woman. Her Facebook and all that, she's showing hugging her family and husband, and you'll think they're a very happy family together. Now, it's very easy for you to judge and say, what a bitch, what a slut, what a woman. Takes 2 hands to clap, right? So now coming to this guy, Raja, pretty sure this is not his real profile. He's hiding and asking this. Imagine if his mother and father came to know that he's asking such a question. Imagine if his friends and society. He would be a laughing stock. Okay, now let's keep all that aside. Now, with terms of having a relationship or getting someone, you're dealing with a human being. A human being who has wants, desires, temptations. So how would you get a married woman? The same way you would get an unmarried woman. Okay. However, there are subtle differences. And the differences are a single girl would want sun, moon and stars. She would think her vagina is God's gift to the entire mankind. Like it's titanium, platinum, diamond studded, The parents think, oh, this value is billions of dollars. That's why when I wanted to propose to a girl who I was in love with, the mother, father would look down on me and, oh, my daughter can get a doctor or someone from USA or a model, a film star, entrepreneur and all that. And they normally go for that kind of boy. But after marriage and when you give birth to a child and when you're no longer attractive, beautiful and your marriage breaks off, then the parents are like, okay, let anyone marry you. At least you'll be happy. Because then they realize, oh, shish, I know this is a very cruel thing to say, but for women, see, mind you, and I have a daughter, so I'm not disrespecting women when I say this, but this is a fact. Women in the world of men, or in our world, women are treated like a product. It's sad to say, but this is how it is. And once used, it's considered like second-hand furniture. And the older you get, the more it's like technology, the more the value decreases. That's honestly the really sad reality. That's why a man in his 60s, he can still get a female provided he is rich. But for a female, it becomes really hard, even if she's rich. Yeah, okay, you can get these one-off stories of grandma from UK got an Egyptian toy boy. Those are, you know what it is. It's not love. Yeah, you'll say the same with men, but the chances of a man finding a simple woman, like look at me, tattooed, ugly, freak. I was fat that time. Which Indian girl from a decent family would marry me? None. None. Being an Indian, no Indian girl in her right mind. And I don't blame them. Because I don't fit the template of being the typical hero that you see in the movies. I'm looked upon as a freak. Now, obviously, then the question is, why did my wifey get married? And remember, the only reason my wife introduced me to her family was because she had already been through a very painful divorce. A very painful divorce where the guy abused her physically, mentally, emotionally. She always wanted to marry a handsome, good-looking, non-tattooed guy. She wanted to marry a Thai person. But after a second relationship, which ended up in the same way violently, and she was like, okay, let me see a foreigner. And yeah, when she put it on the website, she got 70, 80-year-olds. I love you and all that. With me, it was different. I didn't say any I love you and all that. So now, getting a married woman is as simple as getting a normal unmarried woman. It's just that with married women, they are expectations are low where the superficial is concerned. They are not looking for, it's not that they don't look for handsome, sexy. You know, I have so many of these videos where these married females go for a bachelorette party or something, and they get these male strippers, and oh my goodness, what goes on there? It's more like a sexual orgy. They do stuff that you would be horrified. Decent women doing things that you'd never think they'd do. Like normally you'd see in a men's party doing it to a female who is maybe doesn't mind having sex with a couple of guys, but here the guy doesn't mind any female do anything with his body. So these are married women. Remember this much: human beings still have urges, temptations, feelings. Just because you become 20, 30, 40 years old, what, it stops getting hard? You stop getting urges to masturbate or pleasure yourself? Come on, man. Let's be real. Okay, we need to keep things into perspective. Sex, temptation, urges, pleasure. People from all walks of life, all ages, they feel it. It's just that there are some people who grow out of it. I don't know if the right word is mature. Even today, I know so many of these, they call them sex pacts. They don't call them expats. They come down to Thailand, men who are like 50, 60, 70 years old, and they are targeting girls as young as, I don't know, 12. Like in Philippines, now they just reached the age of consent for sex from 12 to 16. How many men go to Philippines to get girls who are 9, 10, 11? I know it's pedophiles. It's very normal. In fact, when my friend came here to Samui, I took her to the shopping mall. She's a very successful CEO of a company. She was like, "Look, what the fuck is this?" I said, "What happened?" You know, like we were eating, me, my wife, my baby, and her family. I said, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "What happened?" She's saying, "There are only old men, really old men, with small, petite, young girls." I said, "Yeah, they are, a couple." She said, "Yeah, I realize that." It's like, where are the normal people? Why is it I see only old men who are foreigners and young girls who are locals? You know the answer. They have money. They want a stable life. See, with married women, the expectations are less for the superficial. They are looking for companionship. They are looking for friendship. Yes, they are looking for sex, because after you get married, the frequency and the intensity of sex decreases with time. Yeah, it's like when you get a new girlfriend, you might have sex 5 times a day or 6 times a day, or you think of sex 24/7. You go in a shopping mall, you think, okay, we'll have sex in this corner, we'll kiss and smooch. Go to a movie theater and there you start fingering each other and smooching and get down on me, I'll get down on you. You do all that crazy stuff. You go to, like I've done it, I've gone to KFC and took one corner and we are busy smooching and I'm feeling her. The guy who was serving was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Yeah, I said, sorry. No, continue. I don't mind it. They've done all these things, and sex in the car and sex in the room and sex in the terrace and sex on the beach and sex with this and that. And however, after a certain period of time of sex, then it gets a little boring. Then the frequency from 7 times a day becomes maybe 3 times a day, then becomes once a day, then becomes once in 2 days, then once in 3 days, then once a week, then becomes once in 2 weeks. Then, in fact, initially you might refer the book of Kama Sutra and want to do each and every chapter. Okay, you do this in my mouth, I'll do that in your mouth, you put this there, I'll put this there. Role playing and all. Eventually you just, you want to have sex? Okay, come on top, tick. Okay, finish. Sex becomes very vanilla. I'm pretty sure some of you would say, "Oh Lord, what about your sex life?" It is less than 5 minutes. Seriously, it is 5 minutes or less. Why? I can prolong. I can definitely prolong. But what's the point? I know my wife would like some wild, crazy, kinky this thing. I know that. She's young. I don't want to. I know you'll say, hey, Roy, this is not fair. You should also satisfy. Fine, you get yourself a partner who you do dance. In our relationship, I call the shots. Sorry for that. If that offends you, you get someone who will dance to your tunes. What turns on my wife more than giving her an orgasm, is saving money for her future, taking care of her mother, father's no more, planning for her when I die. That's more important to her other than orgasm. Knowing that I'm loyal, faithful, treat her well. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't insult, humiliate her, I don't call friends. That's what's important to my wife. And this is the same thing as you get a person who is more mature. For women, no? They're looking for the things that they cannot get from the relationship, and obviously sex would be one, orgasm and pleasure and romance and a friend. And it's because that they are not getting it from their relationship, they are seeking it. But one more thing I'll tell you is, see, why it is risky is because you have to be mature, she has to be mature. You have to be discreet, she has to be discreet. You have to do it without any mistakes, she has to do it without any mistakes. And biggest of all, the whole society will be watching. If a watchman sees, if a known friend sees, if somebody sees, and they come to know, too many risks, man. And then the worst part is, what if either partner, some people, when you break up with them, they become paranoid. I know cases where the girl stopped having sex with the guy threatened to share the videos with the husband, office and all. I had one case where the girl wanted to set his house on fire, and because she was sleeping with him and she wanted him back. It can prove to be very dangerous and ugly. See, what I would suggest is, instead of going for a married thing and complicating your life, no matter how bad or good it is, save yourself all the complications, headache. Just go for paid sex, man. And if you're really looking for thrill, try to get a single girl. But if you're hell-bent on getting a married female, it's not impossible, but it'll come with serious complications and risks, serious ones. Okay? So if you're ready to stomach all that and ready to risk your life, your career and everything else, and like I told you, might even be death or physical violence, go ahead. Like I told you, they are human beings just like you. And I can assure you this much, no matter what sweet talk a married person gives you, oh, he treated me well, he was very sweet, he was very gentle, they're just fucking using you, man. The very fact that they are not prepared to leave whom they are with and be with you, you're just nothing but their dildo. You're their vibrator. They'll use you as long as they want, and when push comes to shove, they'll put the blame on you. So be prepared for that. So I hope this gave you some insight. And like I said, please don't. Seriously, don't. I have done a lot of shit. I wouldn't advise others doing it. Okay, guys. Yes, I do have some crazy, kinky stories, which I'm not going to share because this is not a sex channel. Really crazy stories. Can't even imagine what was going through my head when I was doing that. Anyway, guys, take care. See my smile? I know the kinky stories. Anyway, chal, put your comments and thoughts down below. Don't be a bad boy. Like you said, how to be a nice guy. I'll make another video. If you guys are interested, comment down below, because how to get girls takes another video in itself. If you're interested, comment down below. You know, that YouTube stuff, like, share, whatever bulls. Let me get some subscribers, man. Okay? Yalla. You guys take care. Ciao.